Hi, this is Matthew. Going to talk about the next Beach Boys album in 1978 called, for some reason, M.I.U. album. I don't know what the acronym M.I.U. is, but that is what it's called. Very kind of a turbulent period here. Different things happening with people doing different paths. There's a crowd doing a lot of Maharishi Mahesh Yogi things. Mike Love even went and did this somewhere in this period. He went to his university in Iowa and tried to learn levitation from him, which he claimed that you could do if you did enough stuff in it. You could levitate yourself. I don't know if anyone does or has done that, but I took a college class on different world religions, like offshoots. This was one of them, and he showed pictures off the website. People were supposedly levitating. I don't know if this was true or how that worked, but they had pictures of people levitating themselves. But I don't know, again, if they actually did that or if they just set up the photo that way. Who knows? I don't know. I don't practice that thing, so I don't know anything about it. But yeah, that was going on. You had really people in two camps. You had your meditation camp and your like not meditation people, and there was a lot of just people wanting to do different things and go off and do stuff. So it was a kind of a turbulent album. Really, only I think Brian was in the middle, neutral, and you had basically the Carl and Dennis at one section, and Mike Love and stuff in another. You had a few two camps, but turbulent time. But the fact they got an album made, I think, is pretty good, amazing. Again, more of an easy listening album. No synth pop this time. Much more of an easy listening type of an album. You have a few covers. You have some reworking of things that were going to be on the Beach Boys, records from the Beach Boys album that didn't go anywhere. They got reworked for this one. Some originals, newer songs. Of course, again, like a lot of these albums, a lot of recordings they didn't use, or demos that were on other box sets later on down the road. But yeah, the fact that they made an album at all, I think is pretty good, considering what all the strife was going on with the band and different directions people were being pulled, and just making a solo album and other things happening. But yeah, I thought it was fairly all right. I didn't mind it at all. I like some of the strings in it, I'll be honest, in places. There's a nice, instrumentation, I thought, considering, again, you've got people just kind of almost not wanting to be around one another. I think it came out pretty good. We'll see what's on it. It's we're back to 12 tracks this time. Side one, we open up with She's Got Rhythm, which was a Brian Wilson and Mike Love and Ron Altbach. You had Brian Wilson, Mike Love, and Mark Altbach, who was keyboards, and then you had Dennis and Carl were the meditation kind of things, but I think Mike Love was still kind of in that camp some. But again, they recorded most of this again at I can never remember that name of that university. Let me go check really quick. That's going to drive me crazy. The actual name of it is, let me go to that section. I can't keep that in my head. I think it's Fairfield, Iowa. Let's see, where's that? Yeah, a lot of just resentments and things. Here we go. Maharishi International University in Fairfield, Iowa. Which I think it's still there. Yeah. So they did most of it there. And again, this was, I think, the an album that because Child Slash Adult wasn't made, that they needed, Reprise wanted another album from them. So that's what happened here. So yeah, we start again with after. Yeah, so she's got rhythm. Brian Wilson and Mike Love and Rob Back did that. And Brian Wilson and Mike Love sang it. And then we have Come Go With Me by the Del Vikings cover, which was C.E. Quick and Al Jardine and Mike Love singing it. Al Jardine was also around too. I always forget about him. He was kind of in the middle there too. I think he was on the not meditation thing, I think. But yeah, everybody was just kind of pushed in different spaces. So, Hey Little Tomboy, Brian Wilson wrote it, and he sings it, and Mike Love and Carl Wilson sing on it too. And then, Kona Coast. That was that Mickey Klikamaka song. It's the same song, just that word is not in it anymore. But the rest of it is pretty much the same as from that Ultimate Christmas, or the Ultimate Christmas set. Al Jardine and Mike Love wrote it, and Mike Love and Al Jardine sing on it. Yeah, again, because most people, again, we're not really together at all recording anything. And then Peggy Sue, the Buddy Holly song. Buddy Holly, Jerry Elson, and Mike Petty, technically. Al Jardine sings it. Yeah, I like that cover. I like Come Go With Me too. Those were nice little covers. And then Won't You Come Out Tonight? Brian Wilson and Mike Love wrote it with Brian Wilson and Mike Love singing on there. And then side 2 has Sweet Sunday Kind of Love. Brian Wilson and Mike Love wrote it. Carl Wilson sings on it. And then Bells of Paris, which is a reworking of Bells of Christmas. Just they've changed everything. It's not Christmassy, it's all Paris themed instead of Christmassy. And it's not like a religious song, it's more like just falling in love in Paris and seeing the sights and all that. So an interesting reworking of that song. Brian Wilson and Mike Love and that Altbach guy with Mike Love on singing it. Pitter Patter, which is about rain, not about kids. I thought it was about a child. No, it's about watching it rain and stuff. Brian Wilson, Mike Love, and Al Jardine wrote it with Love and Jardine singing. And then My Diane, Brian Wilson with Dave Wilson singing it. And then Match Point, Our Love, Brian Wilson and Mike Love with Brian Wilson singing that one. Winds of Change finishes it out. Bach and I don't know who Ed Talea is, or Talea, something like that. Al Jardine and Mike Love singing it. And that is the album. But again, considering what was happening in the band, the fact they got anything made at all was pretty incredible. And of course, Warner not really helping them. Apparently the CBS stuff is going to be with Epic Records, but we're not there yet. I had this one obligation. Though, interestingly, the next album still shows on Apple Music with as obviously the Brother Records part is there, because that's the Beach Boys label at that point. But I don't know. I assume it was with Epic. We'll find out next time. Our personnel here on this is going to be Mal Jardine on lead backing is electric and acoustic guitar, so nothing crazy. And also that tech piano, bass guitar, and hand claps, and finger snapping, and Glockenspiel and vocal arrangements. Yeah, I think Brian Wilson is co-producer on this one, but he really was not terribly involved, apparently, with this stuff. In fact, he claims he doesn't remember being there later on. Most people want to forget this album, apparently. Whatever reason. I didn't think it was that bad, but I'm pretty easily entertained, I think. or can find good things in albums that other people don't find. Is it amazing? No, it's not terrible. But I think it was too bad. But I like some of the arrangements too. Some of the harmonies were nice. Mike Love on lead and backing and hand claps. Brian Wilson lead and backing vocals and piano and tack piano. Electric piano, electric harpsichord, and the mini Moog hand claps. And let's see, vocal and horn arrangements too. There's some pretty good horns in this, I think. Carl Wilson lead and backing and vocals and 12th Street electric guitar and electric guitar hand claps. Dennis Wilson lead and backing vocals, drums, additional drums. Our touring guys. Michael Andreas saxophone and flute and horn arrangements. Ronald Beck, that's his name. Ronald Beck is piano, electric piano, and accordion, and Arbani and vibraphone, and xylophone and trombone. Oh, well, good for you, sir. Thank you for playing trombone. You did a good job. Lance Buller trumpet, Gary Griffin electric piano and organ, and mini Moog and tubular bells, string arrangements. Ed Carter electric piano, electric and acoustic guitar, and bass guitar. John Foss trumpet on flute and also flugelhorn. That's fun. Billy Hinch on backing vocals and electric guitar. Mike Kowalski drums and congas and bongos and sleigh bells. And tambourine and shakers and guiro woodblock tubular bells. What is a mark tree? What's a mark tree? What is that? I don't know what that. I've never seen that percussion instrument. What the heck is a mark tree? Charles Lloyd on flute. Sonny McCarthy flute again from last time. Rusty Ford bass guitar. Additional people: Chris Benoit steel pedal guitar. Marilyn Ravel backing vocals. Dan Ravel backing vocals. Jay Graydon electric guitars. Frank Marco accordion. Ray Pullman on bass guitar. Ricky Fetter on drums, so he's back again. That's cool. He came back to do some stuff with him, which is pretty darn cool. Julius Selector sleigh bells and vibraphone. Matt Jardine hand claps and finger snaps, so his Jardine's kids involved a little bit. That's kind of cool. Michael Sherry hand claps and finger snaps. Richard Hurwitz on trumpet. Raymond Brown trumpet. Vincent Vanuel trombone. Steve Willis and two saxophones. Not one, but two, multiple. Or at least two. Jim McClure, baritone saxophones. He's back. William Collette saxophone. Bill Green on saxophone. Maureen Love on harp. Their mother is back. It looks like. Beverly Barnhouse string arrangements. Brian Condon. Violins is a bunch of other random people. There's too many names in one line for me to deal with. And a bunch of people on violas. And a bunch of people on cellos. Some unknown on saxophone and some string arrangements or some string playing. Our recording people and personnel and stuff are Al Jardine producer, Ronald Beck producer, Brian Wilson executive. Brian Wilson's executive producer, Dan Ravel music coordinator. Apparently Brian Wilson had an affair with her, it said. That's interesting. I'm not sure much that makes a difference with anything, but that was apparently going on. Not good times, as I said, with the band at this stage. John Hanlon, recording engineer. Earl Menke, recording engineer. He's back again. Stephen Moffat, recording engineer. Jeff Peters, recording engineer and final mixdown producer. Bob Rose, recording engineer. Artwork is Dino Torrance and graphics. He designed those. The Beach Boys also were album design and graphics. Warren Burlster from Surfer Magazine, front cover photography. Guy Webster is back cover photography. And that is it. Yeah, again, not a great time for the band. Again, people everywhere. Oh, and in the meantime, also, we had a manager. We got rid of a manager. We got a new manager. People didn't like the manager. We got the old manager back. So all kinds of stuff was happening with this band. They were not in a good place. Oh, in fact, it got so bad that they got off a plane and were arguing, and everybody was there, reporters, and everybody was there, magazine people. Yeah, Dennis said he left the band, but I guess he didn't. Just some really, really turbulent, not getting alongness going on with people. So, yeah, as I said, the fact they got anything made to finish out the contract with Reprise is pretty amazing. Them rejecting most of the stuff they had put out there, not promoting them, all that stuff. But hopefully they'll get a little bit better shake with the next label, hopefully. CBS/Epic. Hopefully. And I know the next time I recognize a song on it. I believe it's called L.A. in parentheses Light album, I believe is the next one up. There's just a few left. I feel that there might be a couple more in between I'm going to have to go look for. I'm not sure, but we're getting close to being where at least the Apple Music albums are done as far as studio albums go. And there'll be some box sets I might go and look at potentially, or at least mention them. But we've got a groove. I definitely want to look at that in February. It's January 27th now, so it's out February 15th. It's a few weeks away. I might have to go look at that because there are some covers I want to hear. That would be fun to see what they're like. That would be an interesting box set. Yeah, no recordings have been put anywhere else, it looks like. But again, and this one and the next one, Apple Music has no information, again, about anything. So I'm having to look before I even look at anything, before anybody helps read our reading service newspapers. I have to go look and see, what was going on in the band, or where was it, and what was happening. That's okay, that's fine though, but I just wish they had some information. I know they weren't popular albums or great albums, quote unquote, but info would have been nice to have known. I hate when they don't give any information on albums. But then they have really good information on other albums, and I just wish it was equal. Because one person may not like something, but somebody else might like it, and I'm kind of I find things to like about it, pretty much anything I hear or watch, so I don't have a lot of bad words to say about things. I tend to find things I like about stuff. Obviously things are better than others sometimes, but I thought this one was pretty good. But I like lots of different music, so. And I'm not like at the time going, oh, what the heck is this? Because you're expecting like surfer music and you're not getting that. But bands can experiment. I think that's fine. Some do a better job than others, but the fact that they're continued for as long as they have, and what's going on in the band is pretty good. But yeah, I know Brian Wilson was stuck in the middle here, trying to sort himself out, and they're all his brothers and his cousin are fighting with each other, and their friends fighting with everybody. So it makes a hard dynamic to deal with. But we'll see what happens in 1979 to finish out the decade. See what we can come up with on the next one. And we'll see you guys next time in the next video.